Good morning everyone, this is Parveen. Today we are on the third session of class 8 civics, chapter number 3 judiciary, chapter number 6 judiciary. Now in our last two sessions I have given you a structure of Indian judiciary. We have seen that judiciary is independent and fair in India to check on the legislature and to check on the executive, to check on the parliament, and to check on the citizens whether they are following the laws made by parliament properly or not. And when we talk about Indian judiciary is from lowest to top, or from top to lowest. There are three courts in Indian judiciary: Supreme Court, High Court and Subordinate Court. In last two sessions we have seen Supreme Court, which is the highest court of authority, which is the final court of justice. Second, beyond that, below that we are having High Court. Supreme Court, we only have one Supreme Court for the whole country, which is in New Delhi. For each state we have one High Court. According to the size and population of a particular state, number of judges have been decided in the High Court, and there is one Chief Justice of High Court. In Supreme Court also we have one Chief Justice of India and 30 other judges. Now Chief Justice of India is appointed by President, and other judges of the Supreme Court and Chief Justice and other judges of the High Court was appointed by the President in consultation of Chief Justice of Supreme Court and Governor of each state. And we have also seen the qualifications of High Court and Supreme Court. We have seen that the judges who are appointed in Supreme Court and High Court, they must be a citizen of India, and they have certain qualifications and experiences as a judge of High Court, as a judge of Supreme Court, as a advocate of High Court and Supreme Court for at least 10 years or 5 years. Okay. Now moving on further, the lowest court of India is Subordinate Court. Okay, Subordinate Court is the lowest court of India, and then we have High Court, and then we have a highest court of authority, which is Supreme Court. Now in this session we are going to see the subordinate courts. Now as we have seen that for the whole country we have one Supreme Court, for each state we have High Court. Now each state in India has been divided into small districts, and these districts are having a subordinate courts and lower courts. Now when we talk about subordinate courts, subordinate courts can be of three types, that is district courts, session courts and lower courts. Okay, like this there are three types of subordinate courts, that is district court, session court and lowest court, or you can say lower court. Now when we talk about the subordinate court, as I have told you, each state has been divided into different districts, and every district has many kinds of courts. Okay, many kinds of, like district court, then we have session court and many lowest courts. There are many lower courts and we have a session courts, and then we have only one district court for each district, you can say. And these courts are having an authority to take decisions regarding civil and criminal cases in the state or in the district. Now when we talk about the subordinate court, the highest court is district court and session court. As I have told you, lowest court is there, then we have session court, then we have district court. District court is the highest court of authority in subordinate courts. Okay, and all of them are responsible, or all of them are answerable to High Court and Supreme Court, all these courts. Now criminal cases can be heard by magistrate also, and if the party is not satisfied with the lower court decision, then the party can go to the session court, or if the party is not the party is not satisfied with the judgment given by the session court, then the party can go to district court, or then if they are not satisfied, they can go to High Court. Okay, and lastly Supreme Court can take the case if Supreme Court feels to take it. Other than that, the final decision can be taken by the High Court, or if the case goes to the Supreme Court Court is the final authority, and after that the applicant or the party need to accept the decision. Okay, so like this the cases can go on from lowest court to High Court or Supreme Court. Now for different villages there are courts, there are village courts in different villages to solve the matter of rural areas, to solve the matter in village areas. Okay, so over here we can say that subordinate courts are having a duty to solve the small cases like civil cases, criminal cases, like you can say cases relating to murder, kidnapping, cases related to property, cases related to marriage and divorce, Okay, all these cases, which is called as civil and criminal cases, can be heard of. The decisions can be taken in the subordinate court. Now, in the next class, we will see in detail what is criminal cases and what is civil cases. So I hope you have understood about the three different courts which we have in India, that is Supreme Court, High Court and subordinate courts. And these three, and that is the Indian judiciary system which we have. And I hope you have understood all these three courts. Once again I am repeating myself. Supreme Court is the highest court of authority. After that we have High Court, and then we are having the subordinate courts. Supreme Court is only one for the whole country, which is in New Delhi. For each state we are having a High Court, and for each district we are having subordinate courts. Okay. Now moving on further, when we talk about the judiciary system in India, we also have Lok Adalats. As there is a phrase that delaying justice was injustice. Okay, so if the justice will be delayed, the justice will not be given on time, then that justice does not mean anything. And when we talk about Indian judiciary system is having a burden of so many cases, and it will take much time. You can say that it will take a longer period of time to take a decision on one case, because of different hearings, because of the different and so many cases which they have. That is why now Lok Adalats have been introduced to solve the problem of time and the problem of expenditure which incurs in the Supreme Court, High Court or subordinate courts. That is why Lok Adalats have been created or have been made to reduce time and expenditure of people. Okay, and this is the Lok Adalats, or you can say public interest litigations, where public can go to Lok Adalats and their case will be heard immediately on that particular date only. No second hearing was given. Okay, so the first Lok Adalat was held in Delhi in 1985, in which 150 cases have been solved, or the decision have been taken in a single day. So you can see over here that how much quick decisions they have taken. Okay, small cases are there, small conflicts are there which can be resolved in Lok Adalats. Okay. Now, when we talk about the Lok Adalat, Indian judiciary system has given one more scheme to the people who are from the weaker sections, like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, women, children, mentally ill people, disabled, physically disabled people, and the people who are economically poor, who cannot afford advocates and all, lawyers and all. So for them, legal aid department is there, and that legal aid department provides them free legal advice, and they also provide them the lawyers, which are the government lawyers, okay, who take their cases at free of cost. So free legal aid has also been provided to people, so that poor people or weaker section people also get justice, because it is a right of the people. It says that we have a right of equality, which says that everyone is equal in the eyes of the law. That is why this legal aid or free legal aid has been given to the weaker section and poor people. So I hope you have understood three different courts which we have, and about the Lok Adalats and legal free aid which government provides. Okay. Now moving on further, what are the functions of judiciary? What are the functions of Indian judiciary? Okay. First one, as we have seen, that judiciary is the very first and foremost function of the judiciary is to solve the conflict in the country. Okay, through mutual talks. Okay, without any violence. So you can say that the first function of judiciary is it resolves disputes between citizens. If two citizens are having any dispute, like if two normal people, if they have any dispute, like when there is a property disputes are there, theft disputes are there, kidnapping disputes are there, they are the criminal cases, you can say. Okay, then divorce cases are there, marriage is there, or you can say adoption cases are there. So many cases are there which is between two individuals or two citizens. So those cases can be resolved in the courts, and there was a conflict, maybe the conflict between citizen and government, maybe there is a conflict between two different state government, and between central government and state government. So all these conflicts can be solved in the different courts. Like when there is a matter of citizens, when there is a conflict between citizens, the cases can go to subordinate court. When there is a conflict between two state government, then the matter can go to High Court. When there is a conflict between state and central government, then the case will go directly to the Supreme Court. Okay. Now moving on further, second function of judiciary is it has power to reject the law made by Parliament. If judiciary it is the power has been given to the Supreme Court. If the judges of Supreme Court or Chief Justice of India, if he feels that the law made in the parliament, any law which is made in the parliament is against constitution or it is violating any constitutional law, so they have a right or they have a power to reject that law which is made by parliament. They can ban that particular law, which is called as judicial review. Okay, and the last function is it upholds law and secure fundamental rights. There is an Indian Penal Code. Okay, according to Indian Penal Code, judiciary give decisions, judiciary give punishments to those who are guilty, and they also secure the fundamental rights, because if any person believe that his fundamental right, his or her fundamental rights have been violated by anyone or by government or by anything or by anyone, they can take that case to the High Court or Supreme Court for justice. So I hope you have understood all the different courts of India, Lok Adalats, and the functions of judiciary which we have in India. Okay. Now in the next session we are going to see the branches of cases which we have, like civil cases or criminal cases. Okay. Till then, thank you.